As I said initially, I'd set this as the first price target for relative equal highs, which is one of the things that ICT teaches. Obviously, you can see that um, the actually, when I look at this, I think I missed this fair value gap. So for if you look at here, there's a fair value gap that has formed here earlier. So I'm going to take, sorry, let me just, this is just me trying to do some other stuff here. So if you look at this, there's a fair value gap between here and here and here. There's a fair value gap somewhere here. So I'm just going to extend this so I can see properly. Yeah, so it looks like I actually missed that entry. I don't know, maybe I got distracted when we were talking, but the point is there was a fair value gap that formed here, and you know we expect price to trade into it. And there's another concept about there's another concept about um, an evolving fair value gap as an entry opportunity. So if you look here, there's another fair value gap that formed here. So we expect price to trade here or into that 50 midway mark, and then go back to hit that first price target we set initially. So we'll see how this plays out. Yeah, so if we had an entry here, for example, so if you put in, let's assume you had like an entry here. Again, this the purpose of this session is not to trade, but just understand, price action. And I put it at let's say at this point, and then we see the relative equal highs here. We can aim for that first price target, which is around 2.7 um, risk to reward. Oh, see, it taps nicely into this. And sometimes, which I haven't quite understood yet, sometimes price trades like it just bleeds through that and aims for the bottom. So even if I entered the trade here, I don't quite know yet, at what point will price not trade down. But if you look at this here, for example, try trades nicely into that place and taps into it. We'll see if it bleeds through it. If it bleeds through it again, that's an example. Okay, that's my example of what I'm saying in terms of, for me right now, I don't quite know when price would sort of bleed through this and more or less just destroy this fair value gap and aim for this lower one. But we'll see. I mean, I'm sure as time goes on, I'll get a better hang of it. Now, price trades back into this fair value gap and is aiming to go up again. Remember, we would aim for this first price target. Sorry, let me adjust. We would aim for that first price target, and um, we'll see what happens if price takes out that first price target. If it does, then we expect price to aim for this second price target. Obviously, not immediately, but eventually. However, we still kind of have to keep in mind there's this uh, previous week high here, which is for last week. This is the highest price movement for last week. Um, if 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 we were able to trace past that, I mean, we can expect for price to react to that a bit, but again, it could just blow through it and then aim for this, second price target here. But let's just see how price um, moves here. Again, this really, and this is kind of what ICT teaches in terms of just understanding price action, how price moves, and being able to sort of predict or project how price moves into um, the next couple steps or pips or whatever. So we'll see how price continues to play out and watch. So, as I was saying about my transitioning into, becoming a trader and really just, trying to see what I can learn from, not just what I can learn, full transition into a new industry. I think that, trading or forex trading is a real opportunity that can help anyone really build, financial wealth. And I've seen it, in terms of people that I know who have been able to make a success out of this, historically for the last, 10, 5 years, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and I think that, I do have the mental, capacity to be able to learn this as well. Exactly. This is what I was saying earlier. This is price bleeding through this fair value gap. Um, it might aim to come here and then start to retrace, but sometimes if you pull up maybe like the fib retracement, so we take price from this low all the way to this high, we expect for price to trade into this. So for example, now it went straight through this FEG, this fair value gap, and traded into this zone. And typically this zone is where, when you use fib retracement, in terms of the little I know about fib retracement, is where you can expect price to start to go back, in the direction of the trend. So we'll see if that plays out. If it doesn't, we'll see what happens next with price. I'm just going to remove the free retracement, and let's see if price starts to go back, up into that direction we aim for. If price trades back into this FAG and goes up, then we can expect price to continue going. But if it treats this fair value gap, this FEG, as, um, a sell, like a sell side, fair value gap, I think that's called a CB or a BZ. Again, another another ICT, concept. So price is trading through that FEG, um, this FEG that has formed here. Boom. So price, again, we can expect price to aim for that first price target. So let's keep seeing what price does. Now, yeah, so as I was saying, I'm starting to sort of learn these concepts, and I guess that's a thing. I'm telling you, I have tried to learn from a number of people, in this space, but I there's none of them. I mean, trust me, there's a couple of things I've been able to learn from these other folks, but coming across, ICT and its concepts, and it's really, really, it's really, really made me, a lot more comfortable, with trading and trading concepts and understanding how price moves. And like ICT himself says, this the most important skill set in, or maybe he didn't say the most important, but one of the most important skill sets is to know where price is going to go to next. Is to know where price is going to go to next. And I think that really is, the trick, understanding where price is going to go to next. Really, I think is the real strength of being, a pro trader and a successful trader. And that's what I'm hoping to learn from this, that when it comes to understanding price movements, that I am able to, understand that really, really well, um, um, when it comes to price, movements. So let's keep seeing what happens here. I there's something here that is reacting to. I know is one of the highs, but I I I I made a mistake in properly annotating that. But again, in my subsequent videos, I hope that I'm able to, um, get my annotations a lot better. So I'm not surprised that price is reacting to this, but I think that it's really going to go through and aim for this first price target, like I said at the beginning of this video. So it's it's interesting to see it's in understanding this price movement and this price actions. I think really is the germ, which is why I'm really excited about learning from ICT. Trust me, this video is a product of God knows, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of watching, ICT trainings. Again, I mean, if you know if you watch any of ICT videos, especially the mentorship videos, um, you will see, you will understand what I mean by hours and hours and hours, because that's really like you each of one of those videos sometimes goes on, one of those sessions goes on for about 4 hours, 5 hours, like, so we, and which I like it. A lot, some people don't like it because of there's what somebody else might consider fillers in terms of, in terms of, how, in terms of really going straight to how am I supposed to trade, what am I supposed to do, all of those kinds of things, but for me, ICT speaks a lot about, mindset of trading, like how you should approach trading as a mindset. And I think I didn't used to take those things seriously, but now I know how important those things are. I know how important those things are when it comes to mindset, when it comes to trading. So um, price, as we were expecting, was going to trade to this first price target. By all means, it has. Um, we can expect some kind of reaction, but no surprises there because of this area, this relative equal high here. Um, the expectation is for price to now aim for this second price target. I mean, the reality is that from this point, price might consolidate a bit because it's moved relatively aggressively here, but um, ultimately we're expecting it to aim for the second price target. Although there is this, like I said earlier, there's this previous week high that price might react to, but I honestly think that there is no um, um, I honestly think that it will eventually aim for this second price target. I don't know how long this video has gone on for, but again, I wanted to keep it at about an hour, um, to um, about an hour or so. I think we are now at just about, we're up to 30 minutes of this 1 hour mark yet. So we've got a few minutes more to eat our 30. I think when it gets to the 30-minute mark, I'll probably end the video. So let me just mark out my 30 minutes just for the sake of this video.